broadcast is streamed and produced by Midnight Sports and is not affiliated with any hockey organization, club, or team. Midnight Sports is comprised of hockey parents who stream games for friends and family who cannot attend the games in person. Well, hello again. Let's see if we can get that sound up and going. There it is. All right, we'll give you the intro one more time, just in case you didn't hear it. As our folks in the production truck all the way back in Queens, New York, alerted us to an audio problem. This is the Snider Hockey Club coming in after beating the Nassau County Lions this morning. Lions' first loss on the EJ season. And loyal Midnight Sports viewers will know that Snider is a force to be reckoned with out there on the ice. 70 seconds left to go on the warm-up clock. North Park last night had a game against the Long Island Kings. Hard-fought game, tightly called. And it was the Kings coming away with the 5-2 victory, which included an empty net goal near the end. And so that game could have gone in either direction. Ended up going in the Kings' direction. And so North Park looking to get on the score sheet early and often in this one to get back into the W column for this October EJ Showcase. And so we'll bring you all the coverage in 40 seconds here from the IceWorks skating facility in Aston, PA. Thanks so much for joining us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in suburban Philadelphia. All the action coming up next on Midnight Sports. Well, as you can see on your television screen, beware of flying objects. We are in the second row, the highest row here in rink number one. It's a beautiful facility, 4 sheets of ice down here in Aston, PA. This just happens to be the one with the smallest stands, and so, or maybe the lowest stands. They're all regulation stands, not that you care, from your couch, nice and warm there back home. But in any event, we'll be on this rink today and tomorrow for North Park, as well as our Midnight Sports afternoon doubleheader. It's really a triple header today, as North Park is back in action at 7:15 this evening right here on Midnight Sports. But the New York Stars also take on the Genesis Hockey Club next on Midnight Sports after this game. That's a 4:30 puck drop. You'll just have to refresh your browser and pick that link if you want to spend all afternoon with us right here on Midnight Sports. But first, it's 25 minutes on the clock for the first half of Game 2 of North Park's October EJEPL Showcase here in Aston, PA. It'll be Bo Bickoff in net. Acquitted himself very well last night, faced some high danger chances and stood tall. And so, back in the blue paint this afternoon against the Snider Hockey Club, and we will see who Coach Rayner throws over the boards first here for North Park. North Park in their green and blue road jerseys. Snider in their orange and white sweaters. They'll be moving right to left on your television screen or radio dial if you are just listening into this one. And the teams, unlike in a New York State game or an exhibition match, will not switch sides at halftime. There will be an ice cut at halftime. But let's not worry about that just yet as we get ready to get rolling here from Aston, PA. Boards being pounded. Goaltenders checked. It's Samosi and Meller up front for North Park, joined by Finkelstein. Samosi takes that faceoff win on the backhand. He'll dump in and give chase. Puck rolls all the way around to the near side of the ice. Snider with the puck there in the near corner. Meller will come back on the forecheck in the other direction. Farrow able to keep the zone. Snider tries to chip it past Samosi. Eventually, they're able to get it past on the second try. North Park dumps on in. It's a delayed offside, though, so they'll have to back off. It's Snider with possession in their own end. Meller on the forecheck now. It is Halpern as the other defender out there. So that's the 5 skaters for Snider. Halpern able to work that up to the far point, but no farther. Snider keeps the zone momentarily. Rolling puck, top of the far circle. Snider controls. All the way through the slot comes Snider to the near side. Snider looking for a centering pass, but bumped off the puck by Halpern. And it's North Park in front of the Zamboni doors trying to get rolling. They do. They get the puck out of the zone. Finkelstein able to push it past the blue line. Puck comes right back in. It's Halpern. Puck on edge. And all the way over to the camera well comes that puck. Meller gains the line, dumps in. North Park can make the first line change of their afternoon here. Grebin shot out of a cannon, nearly picked off a pass, but here comes Snider back in the other direction. It's Snider all the way around, side of the cage. Bickoff stands tall and makes the first save of the afternoon with 23:47 left to go in this first half. It's a Snider shot, but nothing more just yet on the ice. Near circle drop. Tannenbaum at the dot. Wins that back toward Keyworth. Keyworth settles the puck down, looking for Sweeney up the near half wall. In for support is Tannenbaum once more. Snider dumps in and gives chase in that corner. Keyworth rubs his man off the puck. Snider toward the side of the cage. That puck's going to come out to the slot, and then on a backhand, chipped farther into the zone. Keyworth upends his man in front of the Zamboni doors. Centering pass doesn't connect for Snider. That puck's going to bounce all the way out of the zone, and Snider will reset at its blue line. It's Tannenbaum, Grebin, and Sweeney out there as the forwards. Looks like Kluchek and Keyworth as the defenders. Mini break here for Snider. Puck rolls off a stick. It was good back-checking work there by Keyworth to cut out the threat. And now Snider gets to work in the low slot. Pass cut out initially by Grebin, picked up by Kluchek. He shovels it farther for Sweeney. Right back now, up to Grebin. It was Kluchek who got them going, and North Park can make a change here. North Park just trying to find its feet in this game so far. Picking that pass off is Bigliotti. Bigliotti in the slot, shoots, and that one's gloved and frozen by the Snider netminder. The old 88 there is able to pull the trigger in the high slot, and standing tall was the Snider goalie. And so it's going to be a near circle drop in the offensive end for the team from Long Island City. Clean win by Meller towards Samosi. Samosi right back to Meller. The give and go nearly connects there. Rolling puck in the low slot. North Park trying to corral it as Snider will take over in that far corner. Snider on the breakout. It's a 2-on-1 developing here. Back is Halpern. Snider all the way across. Comes in front. Bickoff able to just shrug that aside. He got a piece of the Snider man in the process. And no complaints from either bench. Onward we play. A veteran play there by Bickoff to stick that puck aside and take a little chunk of the Snider man to slow him down so that his defenders could get the puck up and out of the zone. Here comes Snider once more, but this time offside. And so it's going to be a face-off in the neutral zone. It was the Bickoff save that led to the breakout for North Park. And Snider on the ensuing zone entry just a bit offside. This will be Tannenbaum at the dot. He's got Finkelstein to his right and Grebin to his left. Puck nearly dropped here. Hang on. We're going to have the players just breaking in a little too soon, and so we'll do it all over again. And it's North Park winning that back to Kluchek. On up now. It goes to Grebin. Grebin joined by Finkelstein on the rush. Trailed by Tannenbaum. That puck comes off the stick, and so Snider will break in the other direction. Getting back is Kluchek to pick up that puck in the corner. Tries to tap it toward the side. He does to cut out the threat. Snider back on it in front of the Zamboni doors. It's still Snider now trying to get that puck all the way toward the net front, and it comes in on Bickoff. He's able to make the save. It's Snider throwing it out front once more. That shot goes just a bit wide. It's touched up to the blue line by Grebin. Not just out yet, as it'll be Tannenbaum taking over and sending that puck deep so North Park can make a change if they want it. Under 21 and a half left to go in this first half as North Park cycles that puck to the far side. Tannenbaum gives chase. It's Keyworth and Farrow out there as the defenders. It's Farrow able to work that up toward Finkelstein. Out of his reach, though, so Snider resets at the logo. It's Snider on the puck. Skating forward with it is Snider toward the offensive zone. They'll have to dump in, so Farrow turns on the backhand. He's able to cycle it nicely over to Keyworth. Keyworth skates past a man and works that up. Tries to pull it up to Vigliotti. He does. Vigliotti touches it past one man, but just out of his own reach as Snider takes over. They had two men back. Snider right back in the other direction. The Snider defender joining the rush, sending it toward the slot. That puck sits down low for a moment, but this will be North Park able to get it up and past the blue line. And I promise we're not on a sinking ship here. We'll get that camera leveled for you at the next stoppage. It's Halpern touching that up toward the blue line. Snider carries it into its own zone, so no delay at offside to be called. It's Snider right back in the other direction. Into the offensive end. They shoot it wide of the cage. And now this will be North Park standing a man up in the near corner of the defensive zone. It's Snider still on the puck in that far corner. Get that shot from a little while ago up on the scoreboard there for you. Snider able to keep the zone. And Farrow takes his man out of the play in front of the Zamboni doors. Snider playing a tight cycle game over there, but North Park takes the body and sends that puck up to the top of the zone. Not out just yet. Still Snider with the puck. Side of the cage, racked around by North Park. Sweeney over to the far half wall. Try and get that puck up and out. Halpern now has it. Touches it on. Higher in the defensive zone, but not out. Snider at the far point. They'll fire in. It's Bickoff able to fire that puck off the blocker, but the rebound ends up in the back of the net. And so, just like that, it's a Snider goal as we're under 20 minutes to play here in this first half. This will be Snider with the 1-goal lead. Well, ensuing faceoff, we'll have Samosi, Tannenbaum, and Grebin as the forwards. Kluchek and Keyworth as the defenders. Clean win by North Park. It's Keyworth over toward Kluchek. Kluchek shovels it farther, gets the puck back, sends it into the offensive zone, but without possession. Samosi, nice poke check off a Snider stick. Keyworth all the way back to his own end for it. That puck rolled all the way up in front of the camera well. Snider has it once more. They dump in once more. Kluchek first to it. Point to point for Keyworth, who gets rid of the danger. That puck misses all sticks, though. It'll go for an icing. And so, 1935 still on the board here. They didn't start the clock on that one, so we'll get you right back to what the clock in the rink says. A reminder, the scoreboard on your screen, and primarily the clock and shots on goal, just an estimation of what's going on at the scorer's booth. It's a hard job over there, especially when it gets cold. Anyway, it's Snider trying to send a deflection on net. They missed wide, and so now Grebin passes that up to Tannenbaum. Joined on the rush by Samosi. Tannenbaum nearly gets that pass over to Samosi, but the Snider defender was able to jam up the pass. Now Snider in to the side of the cage. They gain the offensive zone and look to curl with that puck. Rolls all the way across the slot, does the puck, and Kluchek minds his man all the way to that far half wall. It's now Snider firing in. They can't get all the way to the goal mouth, and that rolling puck's going to go all the way down. It was Grebin nearly on it, but out of his net was the Snider netminder, and so onward we play. Snider carries that puck through the neutral zone. Touched farther there, though, by North Park. Snider keeps the zone once more. Fluttering puck settled there by Farrow up to the blue line. Grebin tracks it down across the logo he goes. He's 1-on-3 right now as he carries that into the offensive end. Finkelstein on the forecheck as Snider takes over possession at their end boards. Joined by Meller now. Snider up the left side as they maintain possession of the puck. Getting back, though, was Meller on the back check to jam up his own break-in. Snider resets. They dump in. Soft dump in on net. Sticked aside by Bickoff. This is now North Park looking to get the puck up and out. They smash it against the boards, and using a little bit of geometry, they clear the dangerous. Snider dumps in. That's going to be called a tip, and so there's no icing just yet. It's Farrow picking that puck up, tries to send it up and out of the zone. Pass intercepted, dumped in once more by Snider. This is now North Park through Halpern, working that puck over toward Finkelstein, just out of his reach. Sweeney joins the forecheck. Rolling puck finds Meller once more. He sends it over to Farrow, sends it right back up the strong side. Snider's going to have the puck, but only in their own end. Finkelstein on the forecheck. That diagonal pass connects for Snider. Farrow then takes his man out of the play. Puck sits in front of the North Park bench. Onward we play. It's Snider all the way into the offensive end now. They'll curl toward the slot. Look out, screen shot high of the cage. Sweeney now tries to touch that puck up and out of the zone. Snider first to it. They come around the side of the cage. Good stick work by Farrow. Cuts out the threat. And that bouncing puck comes up to the blue line, and it's sent up and out by Sweeney. Snider has their puck back in their own end. They're watched there by Finkelstein and Farrow. Delayed call up coming here on North Park as that puck rolls toward the end boards. It is touched by North Park, but they're going to go to the box. Is the team from Long Island City here. And so we'll see what the call is as the official skates all the way over toward the scorer's booth. North Park down a goal, about to be down a man here. And who knows, sometimes a penalty kill, it's going to be a tripping call here against Finkelstein. Sometimes a penalty kill, a successful one that is, can be just what the doctor ordered for some momentum. So 17:05 left to go here in the first half. This will be Tannenbaum on penalty killing unit number 1. Tannenbaum clean win toward Keyworth. Puck carried toward the end boards. Snider has it now at the near point. Snider walks the blue line in the slot. They fire in. Deflection. Saved nicely by Bickoff. Follow-up goes wide. It's now Snider back on the puck at the blue line. Forced out by Tannenbaum. And Grebin on the far side, able to cut off a pass. Tannenbaum dumps to the offensive blue line. Snider has it back. They'll curl right back into the zone. Up a man. Snider on the near wall. Able to take that puck from the near point and skate it on down. Still Snider now on the puck at the near half wall. They work it up to the top of the slot, but stick on puck sees North Park. Able to dispossess Snider at least for a moment. Snider dumps right back in. It's Snider at the end boards behind the cage. Snider trying to fool Bickoff, but they don't. It's Snider having to dump in once more. That puck rolls side of the cage. Still Snider. Bickoff stands tall. Follow up, and he saves it. What a 5-bell save there from Bickoff. And now Keyworth in full flight carries it into the offensive end. We've got an arm raised there for what would have been a delayed offside. Would have been a very harsh call. That puck looked like it came out of the zone, but the officials disagree, and so onward we play. No offside on Snider. Still 41 seconds left to go in the man advantage here for the team in white. It's Keyworth bodying a man at the end boards. It's been a long shift for those penalty killers out there. And so Snider with a little bit more ice than they would otherwise have. It's Keyworth, though, grabbing that puck out of the air, and he's able to send it all the way down. Of course, no icing on a penalty kill in 18U hockey anymore. Thank you very much, USA Hockey. And so this is Snider right back in the other direction. 2-on-2 into the zone. It was Halpern with a poke check to cut out the threat. Snider stood up at the Zamboni doors. That puck sent all the way down once more. Just 5 seconds left to go on the man advantage for Snider as we tick toward 15 minutes left to play in this first half. It's Meller on the forecheck. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Samosi and Vigliotti out there as well. It's Snider working that puck up near side. Snider into the offensive zone. They're able to keep the puck at the blue line. Now the mid slot. They go around a man. They fire in. They shoot. They score. Well, it was quite a play there from Snider as they were able to find the back of the net. It was a very fast play from the winger at the blue line. He was able to skate around a couple of his own men on the ice and use them as a screen. And in the end, found the back of the net with 14:47 left to go in the first half. And also be Tannenbaum, Samosi, and Vigliotti out there as the forwards. It's Halpern and Farrow as the defenders. That puck's going to be racked deep for Halpern to retrieve. It's Halpern in front of his own net, uses the boards to get it up and out. Snider looks to pick up that rolling puck in its own end. They carry it behind their net, does Snider, and they work it up to the blue line on out. Halpern retrieves in the neutral zone. He'll send it over to Farrow. Farrow on the puck, tries to feather it up on a diagonal pass. Ends up hitting a skate, and so Farrow skates back and shovels it over toward Halpern, who reverses for Farrow. Farrow on up to Vigliotti. Vigliotti touches it farther there. Taking in stride is Halpern. Pass just a little behind Tannenbaum, but he's able to work that puck deep. Halpern didn't have many options. If you wanted to get that puck forward, it was always going to have to be a little bit behind Tannenbaum, and so good teamwork by both skaters out there to get the puck deep. Now Halpern working that puck even deeper. Vigliotti over to try and keep the zone. Farrow does at the point momentarily at least. Snider able to flick it up and out past the blue line. North Park with the puck back momentarily. Puck sits in front of the scorer's booth and then dumped in by Snider. So back goes Halpern to pick on up. Halpern on the puck, works it up all the way to Samosi in the neutral zone where Snider tries to get past Keyworth and they're unable to. Keyworth working that puck to the far side of the ice, and Grebin pours into the offensive end to pick up. Samosi and Grebin working together there at the end boards, and they're able to maintain possession. Still Samosi now, feathers it down to Grebin. Trailer in front, shot in, saved very nicely. Not sure if it went off a defender or the netminder for Snider, and now it's North Park getting back in a hurry to try to cut out the threat. It's Keyworth skating around one man, then two. Passing on up, he was looking for Meller as that puck was headed toward the offensive zone, but it missed all sticks as we're just under 13 minutes left to play here in the first half. It's an icing on North Park and a defensive zone draw for the team in blue. This will be Sweeney, Meller, Keyworth, Grebin, and Kluchek. And face-off taken by Snider toward the slot. Look out, sent back in the other direction, and Bickoff with a great save to keep this a two-goal hockey game. And it's now Sweeney trying to work that up to the blue line. Snider in the way. Snider side of the cage. They fire in. That shot goes high and wide. Bickoff had sealed the near post. It's Snider going point to point back in their own end. Now trying to work that puck up is the Snider Hockey Club. All the way through the neutral zone they come. Snider in all alone. All of a sudden, it's Bickoff able to shoot his stick out and slow that puck down and then fall right on top of it. And so it was a broken play turned into a mini break and a shot on goal by Snider. But Bickoff stands tall, makes the save, and it's still 2-0 here from IceWorks in Aston, PA. Now far side of the ice face-off, fired in. Bickoff gloves that one once more. And we'll do it all over again at the far circle with 2:18 left to play in this first half. Try to get you as close to the action as we can, given a second row seat. Sometimes it might feel like you're far away, and then you're in the pocket of a player as he skates by the camera well. In any event, it's North Park trying to get this puck out in front of the Zamboni doors. Instead, it's Snider who comes away with it all the way to that far point. Fired in. Bickoff shrugs off one shot and two. Back to Snider. That shot goes high and wide. Snider has the puck back in that far corner. It's now North Park desperate to get this puck out of its end. And Snider maintains possession in front of the Zamboni doors. Still Snider curling from the near circle up to and shooting in on net. But it's Vigliotti who takes that Bickoff save up to the far point. Puck's not out just yet for North Park. They're trying to clear it on that far side. Comes up to the blue line. Again, not out, though, as Snider able to maintain possession in the offensive zone. And now it's a long pass on up for Grebin into the offensive end. He's one-on-one. That puck fought off by the Snider netminder. One shot, now two for North Park. As the puck saved once more by Snider and sent around to that far side of the ice. North Park able to hold the zone momentarily. And now that fluttering puck's going to come all the way over in front of the camera well and be sent right back into the neutral zone by Snider. Dumped in once more by North Park as the team in blue and green looks like they're finding their feet just a little bit now in this game. A couple of good chances as Samosi keeps the zone, sends it right back toward Meller. Meller on the puck in the near corner, and it's Snider coming away with it. The hitting picking up a little bit here too as Keyworth sends that puck into the neutral zone. It's Snider now in the mid slot, firing in. Bickoff able to make that save up into the netting. And the Bo Bickoff show continues here as Snider has racked up 17 shots on our scoreboard. And Bickoff has stood tall, keeping this a 2-goal hockey game. North Park with some good chances at one end of the ice, but it doesn't mean Snider's not getting theirs as well. This is an entertaining hockey game here from Aston, PA, as it'll be Kluchek working that puck around toward Keyworth. Snider immediately on the forecheck. That's a hallmark of this Snider Hockey Club, where they are on you as soon as the puck is near you. And so they are playing the form thus far. It's now North Park through Samosi, able to get that puck out of the defensive zone. Keyworth back on the puck at his own blue line in front of his own bench now. Flutters that up towards Samosi, who one-hands it over to Tannenbaum. North Park nearly away there. Instead, it will be Snider back in the other direction. Coming across is Kluchek with some help from Keyworth there to dispossess the Snider man with the puck. Diagonal pass can't quite connect for North Park. That one's going to go for an icing. And so with 9:46 left to go in this first half, it'll be a defensive zone draw for North Park. Al Farrow, Halpern, Grebin, Bigliotti, and Meller as the 5 skaters out there for North Park. This will be Meller at the far defensive dot. All players cleared out of the faceoff circle other than the centerman, and the puck is dropped. Snider ties it up between some skates there as there's a stick tie-up, but onward we play. It's now Farrow trying to get body position on his man. He takes a hit to make the play. Rolling puck across the slot. Snider all alone, side of the cage. Bickoff makes himself huge, and he's able to save that into the netting. And so what was a great save starting to look routine. Not even a cheer from the stands after yet another impressive Bo Bickoff save. It's now Meller at the dot. Wins that up toward Grebin. Grebin on the puck. He's going to skate forward through the neutral zone with it. Joined on the rush by Bigliotti. Meller backside. Thrown across looking for a deflection at that back post. Puck went just a little bit high and hot. And so it's Snider right back in the other direction. In the slot, they try to split the defenders. Bickoff able to throw his glove on it. And by a quick whistle, that puck still a little bit loose when the whistle went, but the official lost sight of it, so counted as a save. And a defensive zone draw here for North Park with 9:07 left to play in this first half. A reminder, North Park back in action this evening at 7 or 7:15 right here on Midnight Sports. We'll bring you all the coverage. I say 7 or 7:15 because when you get that late in the day, the timing of puck drop can change. It's Samosi into the offensive end. That shot, it was a pass toward the back post, but it ended up being deflected on net, and it was a nice save by Snider. It's now North Park with the puck in the slot. It was Keyworth who had snuck in from the point, but Snider sprung right back in the other direction. They'll fire in. Bickoff chops that out of the air, makes the save. And so a save aside during the sequence, nothing more there. This will be a defensive zone drop for North Park. And so it'll come to Bickoff's right. Keyworth and Kluchek as the defenders. Meller, Sweeney, and Grebin as the forwards out there. And it's Snider who comes away with the puck to the near point. Still Snider on the puck, trying to work that puck toward the net front. Instead, they'll have to try the far side. Meller all over his man in front of the Zamboni doors. Gets body position, able to kick the puck toward Keyworth. Throws it up to that far point. Snider fires in. Deflection carries that high over the cage. Sweeney on the zone breakout. Has a Snider man all over him. It'll be Snider pouring right back into the offensive end. It's Keyworth pulling that puck off the boards. Puck rolls in front. Bickoff able to shepherd it to the side and then throws the big mid out and freezes it with 8:05 left to go in this first half. It was a shot from the top of the slot, and Bickoff threw the big leather glove out to buy his team a freeze and a line change if they wanted it, and they did. It's Tannenbaum on the draw, wins it over to Farrow. Farrow shepherds it toward the end boards, and it'll be North Park coming away with it through Tannenbaum on that far side of the ice. Vigliotti able to pick it up and wing it up and out of the zone. North Park just trying to get some breathing room here as Snider pours right back into the offensive end. This will be Finkelstein on the puck. Works it on up to Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum all the way across, and that's pulled farther by Vigliotti. But Snider in the way at their own blue line. Now Snider off to the races. Halpern pushes his man wide. Shot goes wide. Good stick work there by Halpern to cut out the threat. Snider at the end boards, trying to skate that toward the net front. Instead, rolling puck up to the point. Fired in. Bickoff sticks it aside. Vigliotti to pick up in front of the Zamboni doors. He reverses over to this near side for Finkelstein. Finkelstein with a good stick lift. Carries it farther through the neutral zone. Still Finkelstein now into the offensive end. Flutters it in front. It was Vigliotti who tried to put that one in. We'll see. A couple of cross checks there as we may get a call. Vigliotti took a couple of cross checks to the back. Didn't like what was going on. And he was able to find the man who did it and return the favor. And so it looks like, as it often is, the man who makes the second hit who ends up in the box. With 7:05 left to go here in the first half, we shall see just what the paperwork looks like out there on the ice. It's Vigliotti to the box on the far side of the ice. Nobody for Snider just yet, or maybe at all. And the discussion continues. The officials, though, looking for the puck and where they are going to drop this puck. So we'll see. Net came completely off its moorings during the sequence, and so the official looks to be putting it back on those moorings and in position. Well, the vagaries of youth hockey. You know, if you were watching the NHL, we would have already cut to commercial break. But you get to see all the behind-the-scenes action here on Midnight Sports. Lucky you. All right, 7:05 left to go in this first half. Penalty on the board. Vigliotti to the box for cross-checking. So North Park down 2 goals, down a man for a bit here from Aston, PA. Penalty killing unit number 1 over the boards. It's going to be Meller, Halpern, Samosi, and Farrow as the 4 skaters for North Park. It's Halpern working that up towards Samosi. Samosi surrounded by 2 Snider men. And that puck carried across the logo by Snider into the offensive end it goes. Snider on the puck and setting up shop there. Snider throws that in. Bickoff who kicks it aside. And then that puck sent up and out by Farrow. It's now Snider picking the puck up on the far side of their defensive zone, looking to set up a breakout here. They'll leave the puck for some speed. It's Snider working it up. Meller got a stick on it, and there'll be no icing, but it will be North Park with possession, and they can fire it on up and out. It was a good play there by Halpern up to Samosi, who's able to dump it in and kill off a little bit more of this Snider power play. 1:15 left to go on the man advantage as we tick towards 6 minutes left to go in this first half. Snider on the puck with speed up the left wing into the offensive end, trying to set up a shot there. Too many North Park sticks and skates in the way. North Park clears the danger, and Snider will have to reset at their own blue line. All the way up in front of that North Park bench goes the puck. Snider tries the near side of the ice. They break on in, but good stick work by Halpern. Cuts out the threat at first. Still Snider now all the way across. Grebin able to get his stick in the way and prevent a shot on goal. It's Farrow in front of the Zamboni doors. He takes a hit there. Snider back on the puck. But look who it is once more, grabbing on the puck into the neutral zone, into the offensive end. He gets a shot on goal for his efforts, and he's able to kill off a little bit more of this man advantage for Snider, which is ticked down to 25 seconds. It's North Park keeping the puck in possession. Tannenbaum back for Keyworth. Keyworth on the puck, feathered up to Tannenbaum. 15 seconds left to go on the kill for North Park. Tannenbaum into the offensive end. That puck fought off by Snider to the near side of the ice. Bouncing puck now. It's still North Park and Snider jousting for it in the near corner. Puck eventually comes all the way out. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. North Park pumps it farther. Grebin picks it up. He's got Samosi streaking back post. Grebin fires in. He was looking for the shot pass score there. And it was kicked out by Snider, who has a mini break in the other direction themselves. But Kluchak able to jam up the play. He gets body position on his man. And so it'll go down as a shot on goal. Nothing more, as that slow rolling puck was gobbled up by Bikoff. And Bikoff goes on over to Kluchak to give him a tap on the helmet to thank him for his efforts. And so with 4:45 left to go, looks like there was some discussion during that break that we didn't catch. But getting some help from our friends here at Midnight Sports. Shout out. And it is a 2-1 hockey game, and so we're going to get that up on the board for you. Must have been after the scrum in front of the net. They counted the goal. And so, in any event, Bigliotti ended up to the box for a cross-check, but the cross-check was after the puck had crossed the line. And so just like that, it's a 2-1 game. Onward we play. We'll continue to give you good news when we can, but shout out to Sam Berliner there for the heads up on the goal going in. It's Bigliotti, one-touch pass up for Meller. Meller back to Bigliotti. Bigliotti pulls the trigger. That's gloved down and frozen by Snider. And so we'll get a stoppage in play here with, it looks like, 4:01 left to go in this first half. We're officially to the part of the season here where the buttons don't always work when we push them. And so anyway, that's why your clock didn't roll on the screen. Halpern all the way back. And Snider, though, in tight. Halpern, good stick work, throws that puck over to the corner. Snider pressing, trying to get that goal back is Snider, but it'll be North Park through Tannenbaum, sending that puck all the way up and out. Finkelstein retrieves at the logo. It's Finkelstein on the puck. He dumps on in, and Snider able to pick up behind their own cage. Snider on the puck, trying to throw that forward, and they will up the left wing. Snider still on the puck, but this time they'll break in offside. A little bit of a hit after the whistle goes. And still, Snider with a few words here for North Park, hitting after the whistle, and so we'll see if they end up in the box for it. They don't like the call. But so, onward we go here as Snider takes the long skate over to the box. North Park down a goal, about to be up a man, it looks like. We'll see what the call is here on the ice and what's turned into a tight hockey game. Apologies, of course. It's been a tight hockey game the whole time, but I didn't realize it was a one-goal game until we got a little help from our friends. And so it's Snider the box for slashing, and it should be an offensive zone draw upcoming here.
Go guys, keep the pressure!
For North Park.
Go North Park!
Well, the fans finding their voice here in Aston, PA, and so it looks like it might be a 5-on-3 out there. 2 penalties on the board. It is, in fact, a 5-on-3. Halpern on over to Keyworth. North Park trying to strike to even this one up. Nearly back post for Tannenbaum from Keyworth. Tannenbaum able to keep the zone. Halpern settles it down once more. Keyworth fires that across, and that's shrugged aside by the Snider netminder. On in, shot and scored! Well, it looks like it was Tannenbaum on the 5-on-3 who was able to shoot and score. And just like that, it's a tie hockey game here And of course, the benefit of a 5-on-3, other than making it easier to score, is that you still have a 5-on-4 if you score early on in the 5-on-3 for a good amount of time. And so 3:08 left to go in this half. Still 142 on the one-man advantage for North Park here from Aston, PA. This will be Tannenbaum, Halpern, Meller, Keyworth, and Grebben. Halpern takes that face-off win, works it over toward Keyworth. Keyworth stalks back in his end, goes point to point for Halpern. Halpern carries behind his net, and then sends on up to Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum on the puck across for Halpern. Halpern gains the offensive end, surveys his options. He's got Meller toward the back post, shuffles the puck around to the near side for Tannenbaum to pick up at the near point. It's Tannenbaum on down now and sends it to Meller. Tannenbaum has it back. Top of the near circle, all the way to the top of the slot. Keyworth has the puck there, works it back to Tannenbaum once more. Tannenbaum, side of the cage, throws it in front, comes up to Grebben, shot in and saved. Follow-up, hits a defenseman's skate and goes wide. This will be Keyworth picking up that puck near side of the ice. He fires in just wide of the cage. Spinning puck's going to come all the way out. Look out, Snider's going to be first to this as they have the puck on a mini break. Shorthanded shot and scored. Well, just like that, Snider able to reestablish its lead here with 2:14 left to play in this first half on what was a shorthanded chance. They found the puck off the curved wall. And so we'll get that scoreboard right, I promise. Finally, it is a 3-2 hockey game here for Snider. Sorry that the board hasn't been responding to all the button pushing. Might be pushing your buttons at home, so in any event, apologies there. Anyway, Snider is up 3-2. 40 seconds left to go on the man advantage for North Park as Snider collects the puck in their own end. They'll feather that one all the way up and down with under 2 minutes left to play in this first half. It's Vigliotti to pick up in the near defensive corner. He looks for Finkelstein up the slot. Snider sends that in. It hit a Snider stick. Whistle should have gone for an offside. But onward we play. North Park probably happier it didn't go, so they can try and set something up here. Snider with the puck in their own end. Stopping that pass was Finkelstein, and he'll feather on in. Snider to pick up near side of the ice. Vigliotti gives chase on the forecheck, joined by Samosi. Here comes Snider back in the other direction, and this will be Farrell almost certainly going to the box for tripping once North Park's able to touch the puck. It's Snider, though, still on the puck on this delayed call. Snider in the slot. They feather it all the way across to the top of the far circle. Snider on the puck there. They take a hit, and it's still Snider. North Park unable to get possession just yet to get that whistle to blow. Finkelstein pours toward the Zamboni doors. This ought to do it. Whistle will go here once Vigliotti touches up. He does. Takes a hit for his trouble. And some players with some words of disagreement on that far side of the ice. You could almost hear it from here. One said Wawa pretzels aren't very good, and North Park took exception to that, as they should. Players still disagreeing about whether a single pretzel or a double pretzel is the way to go, and you always got to go with a double pretzel. I thought that would be obvious, but even in the year of our Lord 2025, we still have a disagreement on whether a single pretzel or double pretzel is the way to go. Anyway, the officials have sorted it out. Surely some North Park jersey wearers will be going to the box here. It looks like Grebben's going to go for the original trip. We'll see if there's any paperwork thereafter as the officials have one more meeting. Can't tell whether they're just flabbergasted that anyone would have anything to say about pretzels or not. North Park stick is flying to the logo. We'll see if that's returned to the North Park bench. Officials still discussing what paperwork will go here as the clock has ticked all the way down to 48 seconds. Now, perhaps that's just an optical illusion. We'll keep our eye on it anyway. We're under a minute to go here, and so we'll see once the paperwork gets sorted on out. As the discussion at the scorer's booth continues. Well, it gives us time enough to remind you, all you have to do is refresh the Midnight Sports YouTube page. you'll be able to catch the New York Stars in action against the Genesis Hockey Club coming up next, right on this sheet of ice. If you can believe my luck, means I don't have to move any equipment at all. And so, lucky me and lucky you, it's special bonus coverage here from Aston, PA, right here on Midnight Sports. It's the New York Stars. It's the Genesis Hockey Club coming up next. And, of course, North Park back in action this evening at 7:15, where they will take on the Central Penn Panthers. And so, it's like more explanation here at the bench to Coach Raynar. And so we will see just how satisfied he is with that explanation. And if satisfied, he might be the first hockey coach in the land who is, after the official talks to a player. All right, looks like Farrow's going to go to the box here too. One penalty for North Park put up on the board. We'll see if a player from each side goes on the Snider bench, receiving its own explanation on the far side of the ice. And they look like maybe they too bit into a lemon, not unlike the North Park bench getting the explanation. There's been no yelling, there's been no shouting, but it gives us time to say hi to some of our friends who've made it all the way to Aston, PA. Folks, if you're back in Brooklyn and you are looking for shoes or toys, we're coming up on the holiday season. Go see this man right here at Runnin' Wild Kids on Court Street, just past DeGraw. All right, we may be set now for some actual youth hockey instead of youth hockey conversations. This has been a lengthy delay. Ask me how I know. I have officially lost feeling in my toes. And clearly I've nearly run out of things to talk about. 2 penalties now put on the board for North Park. This could be a 5-on-3, could be a makeup 5-on-3 after the 5-on-3 given to North Park. That ended with a goal aside. We see a Snider player and a North Park player walking toward the locker room. And so unclear if that's just a misconduct, an ejection, or a time to cool down. But in any event, we see a North Park man headed to the locker room. Looks like Vigliotti. We'll keep our eye on that to see if either the Snider or North Park players will return from the locker room. But in any event, we do have honest-to-God youth hockey coming up here. And so it's Meller. This is a 5-on-3 for Snider as we tick under a minute left to go. And in fact, there were 10 more seconds on the board, or they just didn't start the board for 10 seconds. In any event, there's 40 seconds left. Despite what the clock on your screen says, that's a shot and a score from Snider during this 5-on-3. So a carbon copy, of course, of the North Park 5-on-3. It's an early goal there for Snider, with, it looks like, 38 seconds left to go in this half. And so we'll see if North Park can score a shorty of its own thereafter, or maybe headed to the locker room with a 2-goal hockey game on our hands. Remember, there is an ice cut. You might need to be beware of flying objects, but you should be beware of the ice cut as well, as there'll be about a 10-minute break here in 38 game seconds. But just stick with us right here on Midnight Sports. We'll bring you the next 25 minutes of this EJEPL game right here at this Midnight Sports link. All right, you won't have to do a thing other than maybe get a frosty adult beverage and get right back to the couch in 10 minutes time. It's Snider dumping in once more. 20 seconds left to go in this half. And North Park able to clear the danger with 15 seconds left. Out of his net is the Snider netminder to settle that puck down. 10 seconds left to go in this half. Maybe time for one more rush as Snider with the puck far side of the ice, all the way inside of the cage. They shoot in. Bickoff able to squeeze that puck and make the save with what looks like 0.8 seconds left. There goes the buzzer anyway, and so a valuable save for North Park. Stick around. We'll bring you the next 25 minutes after the ice cut. This is Midnight Sports. All right, as promised, we put 25 on the board. We're going to do it all over again here from Aston, PA. It's Snider 4, North Park 2, and we're just about ready to get rolling here for the second half. Music's off, and the clock is just about ready to run. And so it's Snider with the face-off win. It's a 5-on-4 for Snider to open up this second half. 55 seconds left to go. And it will be Halpern shepherding his man all the way to the far side. Meller joins on that far defensive side. Snider racks the puck deeper, Farrow on it, sends it up to the blue line, but not out just yet. Snider with the puck once more. They work it up to that far point. Still up a man for 33 seconds left to go. Snider playing a little pitch and catch, but Meller making their job very difficult. Shot comes in, shrugged off by Bickoff. And it'll be Snider keeping the zone on the near side of the ice. Fired in, Bickoff with the save. Tight shot, Bickoff with another save. 3 on the sequence as Snider unable to keep the zone because Meller pushes it out right in front of his own bench. And we'll get those 3 shots on the board for you. Here's Snider working right back in. 5 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Farrow takes a hit to try and move that puck up and out of the zone. Snider back on it behind the net. They throw it in front. Unable to keep the zone, though, is Snider on the delayed offside. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. We go. It's now North Park through Grebin breaking into the offensive end. He gets washed out of the play. Snider gets the puck back. It's Tenenbaum on his man. Leaves for Samosi. Samosi side of the cage. Feathers it across. He was looking for Grebin. And that pass took a deflection. Never reached number 14 stick. Here comes Snider right back into the offensive zone. But this time, just a bit offside with 23-29 left to go in this second half. It's going to be a neutral zone drop. Well, we've got shots at 31-13. But on the board, they've got them at 18-13 anyway. Because they can't hear me, I'm going to go ahead and keep our count instead of theirs. This is North Park with the clean face-off win. Kluchek on over for Keyworth. Keyworth works it up the near half wall. Bouncing puck's going to find Grebin. Grebin joined on the rush by Samosi and Tenenbaum. All the way across for Samosi in the slot. Fired in. Takes a deflection. Ends up wide of the cage. Ensuing shot comes in on the leg pads from Tenenbaum. And it's covered up by Snider nicely. And so one shot on the sequence for North Park. Nothing more just yet. 23:09 remaining to go here in the second half. Offensive zone drop for the team in green and blue. This will be Meller. Sweeney to his right. Finkelstein to his left. Keyworth behind. Face off to Keyworth. Saved nicely once and twice by Snider. Still in front. Winging shot. Gets caught under some bodies. And here comes the jousting now in front. After a couple of shots, we'll see if anything gets called as North Park getting into the blue paint, trying to disrupt Snider's process on that side of the ice. And we just get a stoppage in play. Nothing more here as the officials feel like each team got as good as it gave. And this will be Meller at the face-off circle. And down goes the puck. Snider has it. They'll work it all the way across the ice and pick it up there. Getting back is Finkelstein to join Keyworth. Defending that zone entry. Rolling puck picked up by Keyworth. Near side of the ice up towards Sweeney, who bats it up and out of the defensive zone. Snider retrieves in front of their own bench. Meller again on the forecheck. Snider will dump in all the way to the near corner in the defensive end where Keyworth will get that puck back. It'll come up and out. And so we'll do it all over again in the defensive zone after the zone exit doesn't connect for North Park. 22-30, we'll call it 9 up there on the board. And the puck's dropped. Snider wins it, dumps it in just a bit deeper. Halpern in the way, though, and he's able to work it up to Samosi. Samosi works that through the neutral zone. Snider comes back in the other direction. Tenenbaum on the puck carrier over there, separates him momentarily. Snider sets up shop once more. Rolling puck across to the slot. And now it's going to be Samosi on the puck. Throws it on over toward Grebin. That puck just a bit offside. A little bit of a hit there as Grebin had dumped it on in. No one's any worse for the wear. And so 22-16 left to go in this second half. It will be a face-off right in front of the Snider bench, far side of the ice. Tenenbaum to take the drop. It's shepherded up by Tenenbaum over to Grebin, and Snider dumps into the offensive end. Farrow will turn to pick up. Farrow on the puck, turns with it onto the forehand. Snider trying to pull something toward the net front, and this will be Snider on the puck at that far half wall holding the zone. Snider still on the puck, but tracking back was Samosi to cut out the threat. Now Grebin in full flight toward the offensive end. He dumps in and gives chase. Tenenbaum joins with him. Halpern to settle that puck at the near point. Firing in, deflected down by Tenenbaum. And it will be Snider trying to clear the danger. Keyworth picks up at the logo, turns with the puck. He's got a man draped on him, but he will skate in the other direction to clear some space in front of him. It's Keyworth, screen shot, kicked aside, and so 2 on the sequence in the end for North Park. Nothing more just yet. 21-25 left to go in this second half. A reminder in these EJ games, if the game is tied at the end of regulation, there is a sudden death 4-on-4 overtime for 5 minutes. If still tied, there's a sudden death 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime. And if still tied in the regular season thereafter, the game just ends in a tie. In the playoffs, of course, you play until there is a winner at 3-on-3 if no score happens before. In any event, long way to go before we get there. It's Snider carrying around. Bickoff with the save and again. And so this remains a 2-goal hockey game as Bickoff has turned himself into a brick wall on that near post, able to make a couple of saves in the sequence. This is Meller on the face-off circle. That puck sent up and out by North Park very nicely. And so this will be Snider trying to collect behind their own net. Turned by Sweeney. And it's Meller joining the forecheck. Kluchek comes in to separate a man from a puck on the zone breakout. And Sweeney does the save. It's Snider trying to work that puck out from in front of their bench. And it's Meller, though, controlling on the pass from Kluchek over towards Sweeney. Sweeney fires in. It goes off a body, ends up wide. Snider to pick up at the far half wall. Snider on the puck. They'll cycle it around to the near side. Snider works that puck up and out. And so this will be Kluchek to retrieve in front of the Zamboni doors. He's got a man on him, but Keyworth over on this near side of the ice. It's Snider trying to collect there. They fire in. Bickoff with a huge save and then jumps right on top of the puck as it sat in the blue paint. And so Bickoff able to make the save and keep this a 2-goal hockey game on that far end of the ice. It's Samosi, Tenenbaum, Halpern, Grebin, and Farrow as the 5 skaters for North Park. Face-off win by North Park. Grebin ties up his man on the far side of the ice. Puck stays in the zone until Grebin able to chip that on out, and Tenenbaum gives chase. It's now North Park to pick up the puck in front of the Zamboni doors through Halpern. Sends it up strong side. Grebin able to pull it off the boards and send it up to Samosi in front of the camera well, who finds Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum into the offensive end. Screen shot in. That's kicked down and saved once more by the Snider netminder. And so we're under 20 minutes left to play. It's a shot on goal for North Park and some more discussions at the side of the crease. The officials getting a little bit tired of those discussions, have some words for the players, but it will, in the end, just be an offensive zone drop for North Park. It's Tenenbaum at the dot, tries to carry it forward on his own stick, nearly pulls the trigger, but it was the Snider defender who had come across to cut out the threat. North Park trying to set up once more in the offensive end. Snider throws it up to the blue line. Puck stays in the zone, but without North Park possession just yet. Snider throws it around to the near side of the ice. This is still Snider now, trying to work that puck up and out. Grebin had other ideas, carried it across the zone. Pinching in was Farrow to keep the zone, and it's dumped in once more by Grebin, but it's going to be a hand pass. After Farrow had gloved that puck down, Grebin was first to touch, and so the whistle goes. Should be a face-off out of the zone with 19:22 remaining to go here in the second half. And just in case you forgot, please do beware of flying objects. Well, sometimes you make the joke so much, you manifest it happening. And so if I do end up getting hit by a puck up here in the camera well, no one can say I didn't have it coming. It's Meller, far side of the ice, chips it forward off the face-off, but Snider will come back in the other direction. It was Keyworth with a crucial play there at his own blue line to keep Snider from breaking in. Rolling puck's going to end up being gobbled up in the Snider crease, and so we'll get a stoppage in play. Clock still rolling here, though, at the rink. Clock continues to tick. We'll get ours fixed as the scorekeeper works on the clock on the far side. In any event, this is Keyworth. The puck comes out. Bickoff with a save. Keyworth had shepherded it toward the end boards. It took a strange carom over there. Snider ended up with the puck. They shot it on net. Bickoff had the save. Ensuing shot goes up and over the cage. And now Sweeney to try and pick up and get the puck out of the zone. Snider dumps in once more. Firing on the puck. Far side is Kluchek. And he carries it around in front of the Zamboni doors where Snider meets him. And that puck rolls. And it's Finkelstein on it, trying to settle it down and work it to a forehand is Keyworth now. Keyworth works that puck up and out of the zone on his own stick blade, and then he finds Finkelstein up the left wing. Finkelstein into the offensive end. That's fired in and saved by the Snider netminder, and so we'll get a stoppage in play with 18:09 left to go in this second half. It's a shot on goal by North Park. Nothing more just yet. Tenenbaum, Samosi, Grebin, Farrow, and Halpern as the five skaters in blue and green. The face-off win by North Park, fired in and stopped by Snider and their defenders. Rolling puck's going to come all the way down. It goes for an icing. Halpern did well to skate just fast enough to cut out any threats, but not so fast as to have the icing waived. And so, with 17:55 left to go in this second half, it's an offensive zone drop for North Park. Tenenbaum, Halpern, Samosi, Grebin, and Farrow as the five skaters on the ice. Snider comes away with the face-off win, and they work it up to the far point on out. Getting back in a hurry there was North Park to cut out any odd man rush, but it's Snider firing in. Bickoff with the save, and he doesn't leave a doubt on that as he covers up the puck when it sat right in the blue paint. And so a save on the Snider shot and a defensive zone drop upcoming for North Park. Tenenbaum, clean win back to Farrow. Farrow up the strong side. Snider able to hold the zone momentarily. Bouncing puck finds a Snider stick until Tenenbaum has had enough of it and pulls that puck on a string all the way up to Grebin. It's a good breakout there. They were looking for Samosi, was Grebin. Samosi able to keep the offensive end, throws it all the way across. He was looking for Tenenbaum in the trailer. It's Snider back in the other direction. Still Snider now into the offensive end, but North Park sends the puck right back through the neutral zone, and now it's Grebin in the top of the slot. That puck takes a deflection up into the netting, and we'll get another stoppage in play. With over 17 minutes left to go in this second half. Clock now says 17:20. You know, spin the wheel, truly. It's your guess. It's as good as mine as to what the clock might read the next time we get a stoppage. But in any event, we'll get ours fixed just as soon as we can. North Park trying to hold the zone as the puck flutters across the offensive blue line. But here comes Snider right back into the North Park zone. Keyworth first to the puck, works it over to Kluchek. Snider to take over at their own blue line. They spin it up strong side in front of the scorer's booth and break into the offensive end, but only so far as Kluchek, who sends it right back to the neutral zone. It's Snider, who is happy to settle this game down a little bit. They'll break in up the left wing. In the slot, they fire in, and it was Keyworth who had blocked the shot. Rolling puck came in on Bickoff, and he makes the save. And so that'll give us time enough with 16:44 on the clock in the rink to get our scoreboard right. And remind you, coming up next right here on Midnight Sports, it's game 2 of our triple header today. It's the New York Stars taking on the Genesis Hockey Club. We hope you'll hit that refresh button and find that new link at the appropriate time. That game is at 4:30. And then North Park back in action at 7:15 against the Central Penn Panthers. Right here on Midnight Sports. It's North Park trying to break out of the neutral zone here and dump on in. Samosi does just that. Rolling puck comes all the way across. Grebin had left it at the top of the point. It's a delayed call here on Snider. That puck fluttered in by Tenenbaum, then touched up by Snider. And so North Park was trying to set up the 6-on-5 in the offensive end, but just ran out of real estate with 16:10 left to go in this second half. North Park down 2 goals, but about to be up a man for the next 2 minutes, unless something happens in the interim. Grebin, Keyworth, Tenenbaum, Meller, and Halpern over the boards here as power play unit number 1 on the far side of the ice. This is Meller on the puck, on the faceoff. Snider works it up to that far point, but not out. Kept in there by North Park, and it's Keyworth all the way across for Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum on the puck. He'll skate it down to the near circle. Tenenbaum still on the puck at the end boards. Flutters it around toward Keyworth. Halpern to keep in the zone. Soft pass back toward Keyworth. Keyworth with a little bit of space until Snider able to close him down and come back in the other direction, but it's Tenenbaum getting back in a hurry. And he cuts out the threat and then throws that puck to some open ice for Grebin to pick up at the logo. Still Grebin across the logo into the slot. Grebin crisscrosses with Keyworth, fires across, and that puck goes just wide. Not sure if the Snider netminder got a piece of it. We'll give him credit for it in just a sec. It's Halpern on up. He let his forwards clear the zone, and North Park breaks right back in. Still North Park. Keyworth fires in. That puck takes a deflection. Ensuing shot saved nicely by the Snider netminder. And so a couple of shots on goal in the sequence for North Park. And this will be North Park through Keyworth having to track all the way back to his own end. On up to Halpern, then Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum into the offensive zone. He'll dump in there. Puck picked up by Meller, who's got a Snider man draped on him. Snider sends it all the way out of the zone. Still 45 seconds left to go as North Park makes a couple of changes on this power play. Rolling puck's going to come in toward Bickoff, who shuffles it farther. And now it's North Park trying to pick up once more behind their net. Halpern had eliminated his man from the play. Samosi gets that pass, crosses into the neutral zone, takes a couple of hits in the back, but carries it into the offensive end. And it's Snider trying to get that puck up and out. Bouncing puck is going to be a delayed offside on North Park. They touch up. Snider tries to dump it deeper, but it's picked off by Farrow. 17 seconds left to go on the man advantage. It's Farrow for Finkelstein. Finkelstein carries in to the offensive end, joined by Meller and Samosi. As the forwards, it's Snider trying to work that puck over to the near side. They do. Just 4 seconds left to go on the man advantage here. And Snider able to get that puck all the way up and out before the penalty expired, so there's no icing. Onward we play toward 14 minutes left to go here in the second half from IceWorks in Aston, PA. It's Snider on the puck in the offensive end. Cut out there by Samosi, who skates forward up the right wing. Goes around a man in the offensive zone, and Snider converges to send the puck up and out. It was Sweeney with a big back check. Carries it into the offensive end. He was looking for Samosi in the slot. Too many Snider men in the way, and so Snider will come back in the other direction. It's Halpern getting across to cut out the threat. Near side of the ice. Works it up to Sweeney. Sweeney on the puck. Near point. Fires in. It was a screen shot. Took a deflection toward the end boards. And now it's Finkelstein trying to throw that toward the net front. Fluttering puck, and that one's going to be covered up by the Snider netminder. And so a shot on goal there for North Park. Nothing more, though, than an offensive zone drop with 13:21 remaining to go in this second half. Tenenbaum with Halpern, Sweeney, Finkelstein, and Farrow, but it's a mini break here for Snider. Snider all the way in. They try to go around Bickoff, and he shuts it down. He gets a big cheer from the bench for the breakaway save. And now this is Snider keeping the offensive zone and trying to put pressure on the North Park crease. Rolling puck up towards Sweeney. Sweeney throws it out for a breakout. He finds Halpern on the near side of the ice. Halpern carries it across the logo. Finkelstein and Tenenbaum out there with him. It's Halpern who dumps that puck into the offensive end. Halpern without his stick now, though, as Snider has a 2-on-2 in the other direction. Halpern trying to get all the way back. Joined there by Keyworth. Puck flutters up into the slot. It was a nice save by Bickoff, using the big shoulder to get that puck out of trouble. And now Grebin picks up, fires in. That puck flutters in front after the save. Then it's touched home. Well, it was Tenenbaum who was able to touch that puck home and turn this into a one-goal hockey game after the puck had fluttered out front. And just like that, North Park back to within a goal. And we've got ourselves a hockey game here from Aston, PA. This will be Samosi, Grebin, Meller, Kluchek, and Keyworth as the 5 skaters on the ice. It's now Keyworth able to flutter that puck deep into the offensive end. It's slowed down by Snider. Meller all over his man in the corner. Some heavy hitting there. It's Keyworth on the puck. Fired in, kicked aside by the Snider netminder. And Snider looking to get this puck up and out. Puck's going to find Keyworth at the blue line. He's able to keep the zone. And that puck flutters up into the air. A lot of fluttering going on today, despite all the cold weather. In any event, this is Meller trying to get that puck up to the blue line. It took a deflection all the way up and out. Looks like it was deflected and shot down by a Snider stick, and so it's just a straight icing with 11:47 left to go in this second half. It's going to be an offensive zone drop for North Park, and if they want, they can make a line change. And they do. Tenenbaum, Sweeney, and Finkelstein over the boards. Halpern and Farrow as the defensive pairings. One there by Tenenbaum. Fired in. Puck spilled in front. It was Finkelstein trying to tap it farther after the nice Snider save, but it was stick on puck by the Snider defenders to prevent the shot on goal. And Snider working it up the near side of the ice. They'll work it out of the zone. Halpern able to hold it in the neutral zone. It's touched farther there by Snider, and Farrow to pick up. Farrow fires it to some open ice right in front of the North Park bench. Sweeney able to settle it for Finkelstein. Finkelstein on up. Halpern joins the rush now. Leaves for Finkelstein as Snider tries to eject this puck out of the defensive zone. Eventually they're able to do so, and Farrow tracks back for it. Sends it on up to Sweeney. Sweeney across for Grebin. Grebin in his own zone now. Considers going point to point. Instead works it up strong side, and it's North Park avoiding a too many men on the ice penalty because Meller hadn't touched the puck until North Park only had 5 skaters on the ice. And Snider tracking all the way back to their own end for the puck. And what's gotten to be a nervy hockey game out here as it's just a one-goal game. Fluttering puck comes all the way down for Farrow to try and send farther. Snider has it. They throw it across the blue paint. Farrow picks it up once more, sends it up and out of the zone. Shot out of a cannon is Samosi there. Leaves for Grebin, and Samosi was not offside. That's a tough call against North Park, as Samosi and Grebin had combined very well. And Samosi goes over to remind the official that the blue line is technically out of the zone. The official smiling, not buying the explanation, but you could see it clear as day. Snider bench relieved on that one as North Park was onside, but the whistle went. Them's the breaks sometimes. You just hope you get as many good calls as you do bad. In any event, it's North Park trying to break back into the offensive end. Snider, though, comes right back in the other direction. It's Snider on the puck in the slot. They'll fire in, and covering up is Bickoff at the top of the blue paint. So counted as a shot on goal, nothing more, as we're nearly to 10 minutes left to go in this second half. It's going to be a far circle drop in the defensive zone for North Park. Now it'll be Tenenbaum on that far side of the ice. Finkelstein, Sweeney, and Kluchek in the slot. Snider tries to fire it farther, but it's Keyworth who gets to that rolling puck and skates forward with it. Keyworth still on the puck. He shoots in, blockered aside by the Snider netminder, and Snider able to clear the zone to the neutral zone. Point to point, Kluchek for Tenenbaum. It's now Snider picking that puck up once more, trying to get it up and out of the defensive zone. They do. They'll touch it too in front of the North Park bench and maintain possession. They'll have to turn as they were on the backhand was Snider. And send it all the way back to their blue line to reset it. Sweeney on the forecheck. Snider crisscrossing and working it on up the left wing. Snider turns with it for a moment, but it's Tenenbaum touching the puck to himself. Tenenbaum 1-on-3 into the offensive end, carries it deep there to try and allow North Park to get set up, but instead it'll be Snider coming in the other direction. Farrell swipes the puck. He takes a big hit there, but he was able to keep his man from shooting in on his netminder, and Bickoff able to cover the puck up, and so Farrell, as a defender, did his job. And that rolling puck covered up by Bickoff. Tenenbaum's going to go to the box for a penalty that seems somewhat unclear here. Saying he had his elbow up, the official is. And unfortunate timing there, as North Park does not agree with the call. But they'll be down a goal and down a man here with just over 9 minutes remaining to play. Tenenbaum protesting that call as he was indicating that he hit somebody with a shoulder, but instead the officials said it was an elbow, and now North Park right back to the box here, it looks like. It'll be Grebin to the box, and so a 5-on-3 developing here for Snider, and an unlucky set of calls against North Park. It's Grebin to the box for rushing. Tenenbaum is in there for, they're calling it roughing, explaining that he used his elbow on a check, and we didn't see it up here in the booth. In any event, two opinions matter, and they're the opinions of the folks wearing stripes, and so onward we play here on the 5-on-3. Snider looks to get it back. North Park able to clear the zone all the way down. That puck goes, and so it's a good clearance for North Park with 8:38 left to go in this hockey game. Snider hanging on to a 1-goal lead, but up 2 skaters right now. Can't get through the neutral zone. It was Meller sending it all the way down after some nice stick work by Kluchek. Snider now back on the puck. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this second half. Snider out of their own zone, through the neutral zone. A lot of ice out there in 5-on-3 hockey. It's Snider trying to get in tight. Great stick work there by Kluchek as he sells out to prevent the pass to the low slot. It's now Snider top of that far circle, sending it all the way across, looking for a one-timer, but it was deflected off a North Park stick. Snider's going to try again. They can't pull that one out of the air, but they do settle it down in front of the Zamboni doors. It's Halpern all over his man, far side of the ice. It's an aggressive penalty kill here, 5-on-3 from North Park, working so far. North Park still trying to get the puck up and out. Fired in by Snider. It's a shot block, though, by Halpern. 30 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. Snider still on the puck, near point. They'll switch and pull that puck in deeper. They feather it to the far side of the ice in front of the Zamboni doors, and then they'll dump it in deep once more. Halpern stands his man up on that far side. It's Snider still on the puck, top of the near circle. Snider fires in. Deflection carries that wide. Bickoff's stick might have gotten it. 5 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. Then an abbreviated 7-second power play. Fired in by Snider. Bickoff, huge save on the slapper from the top of the point. 5-on-4 hockey right now. It's an arm raise, and it'll be a penalty against Snider here as soon as they touch up. And so Snider's going to go to the box. And just like that, it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for a few seconds. 7 minutes left to go in this one, and then a power play for North Park. Well, it was Bickoff with a couple of huge saves, none bigger than the missile that came from the top of the slot from a Snider to stick. And he was able to send that over to the corner, keep this a 1-goal hockey game. And during the ensuing play, Snider took a penalty in the offensive zone. And so 4-on-4 hockey coming up for just a few seconds. And then it will be a 5-on-4 for North Park for the better part of a minute and 50 seconds. This is Tenenbaum. Halpern top of the circle. Meller to his left. Keyworth behind. Puck's dropped. It was Tenenbaum trying to work that puck forward, and getting it back now is Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum on the puck, works it up toward Halpern, but look out, it's Snider in the other direction. Keyworth all the way across for some cover. Snider picks up the puck. 1:45 on the man advantage here for North Park as Snider dumps on in. It's a bounding puck off the wall in front of the Zambonis that Keyworth had settled for Grebin. Grebin all the way across. He's going to find Keyworth once more. Keyworth across the logo into the offensive zone. He's got 4 Snider men around him. Tried to leave it there for a North Park teammate. Instead, Snider able to get that puck up and out. 1:20 left to go as Tenenbaum picks up the puck behind his own cage. It's Tenenbaum with the puck there. And now North Park able to work that over to the near side of the ice. It's North Park all the way into the offensive end. Grebin with the puck there. Works it across. Hits a trailer in. Halpern. It was a slow shot that came in, then flicked on net. And it was saved nicely after the Meller shot. And so 6:02 left to go in this game. Shot on goal from North Park. And still 1:02 left to go on the man advantage for the team from Long Island City.
Keep the pressure.
All right, this will be Meller at the dot. Grebin to his right, clean win back to Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum on over for Halpern. Now down to Keyworth. Keyworth spins it in deeper for Meller. Back to Keyworth. It's pitch and catch. North Park just has the puck roll out of the zone. They've got a Snider man trying to track it down, but it was Halpern working it over for Tenenbaum. Now Snider picks up in front of the North Park bench. They pull it all the way across into the slot. Look out, fired wide. This is Halpern to settle that puck in the near defensive corner. 33 seconds left to go on the man advantage here for North Park. It's Halpern on the puck. Halpern works it up toward Keyworth right in front of the camera well. Keyworth picks it up there. He turns to try and buy some time and space. Rolling puck all the way over toward the Snider bench. Touched into the offensive zone. Keyworth settles it, sends it over to Meller. Just a little too hot to handle. Meller will pick it up. He gets crunched in the corner there, and he's able to pop right back up to his skates. North Park trying to throw that out front to Tenenbaum. Snider sends that puck all the way down. That's going to do it for the 5-on-4 here for North Park, as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 5 minutes remaining. North Park making a line change. Can't quite touch the puck until it rolls all the way to Grebin, who dumps it in, so North Park can complete the change. Farrow and Samosi out there on the forecheck right now. Farrow backs off. That bouncing puck's going to go all the way down beyond the end line, and so it's an icing on Snider with 4:44 left to go in this game. Score of 4-3 on the board. Shots even on the board, which just has to be a misprint, because on ours, Snider is ahead 43-28, which tells the tale. This plucky North Park team, though, staying right in it. And so it's Samosi, Finkelstein, Sweeney, Kluchek, and Farrow as that puck comes out of the North Park offensive zone. Samosi back for it. Sends it on over to Farrow. Farrow back to Kluchek on the near side. Kluchek trying to send that puck on up, but Bickoff will play it over to the near side. Touched farther by North Park up to the near half wall. Sweeney and Samosi trying to combine there to get this puck up and out. It's a puck that sits in the near corner. Snider trying to corral in the slot. They can't shovel it past Farrow. And now the puck comes over toward the Zamboni door. Still Snider with the puck. Top of the near circle. Fired in. Takes a deflection wide. Farrow bodies his man there. Snider has it, and Bickoff uses the face mask to send that up into the netting, as the clock stops with 3:59 remaining to go in this game. It's another shot on goal for Snider. Nothing more just yet. Meller, Tenenbaum, Keyworth, Kluchek, and Grebin out there as the 5 skaters in blue and green. This will be Tenenbaum at the dot. He's got Keyworth on the half wall. All other skaters in the slot. Rolling puck side of the cage. Bickoff with the save. Comes around front. Swept aside by the North Park defenders. It's Snider trying to get this puck up and deeper in the zone, I should say, but North Park able to get it out of trouble. Snider will have to reset. They do. They touch that puck all the way deep into the offensive zone. Kluchek first to it. Able to dig it out for Keyworth. Keyworth skates around a man and then to the safety of behind his own net. Throws it up to the blue line. Kept in the zone, though, by Snider, and they'll dump it toward the slot. Kluchek awaits, sends it on up to Keyworth. North Park having to sell out just a little bit to get forward. It's Keyworth on up toward Meller. Meller on the puck, fires it across, looking for a trailer in Grebin, just out of his reach. Grebin able to keep the zone. It's Keyworth sending that puck up toward the slot, but it comes all the way out, so out of his cage comes Bickoff to be there before the Snider man. Bickoff over for Halpern. Halpern turns as Snider will go for a change. Halpern works that up strong side all the way out of the zone, and it's Tenenbaum who tried to corral a rolling puck. Comes up to a Snider man who shoots and scores on a screen shot. And just like that, Snider finds the back of the net, and we've got a 5-3 hockey game here. Broken play for Snider. Full credit to them, though. They never stopped hunting that puck down. Neither team did, truly. But it's Snider who's able to shoot and score and turn this, with 2:52 left to go, into a 5-3 hockey game. Now, ensuing faceoff will be Finkelstein, Sweeney, and Samosi as the forwards. Farrow and Halpern as the defenders. It's Snider working that puck up on the near side of the ice, all the way across into the slot. They're in all alone on Bickoff, and they're able to shoot and score. Well, the final score of this game's not going to tell the true tale of just how close it was, unless there is a North Park miracle, because this was a finely and tightly contested hockey game. And again, full credit to both of the teams here for playing their hearts out in this one. And just a delay over at the scorer's booth as they try to get this up on the board to show a 6-3 hockey game. Well, it gives us time to remind you that we are right back in action here. At 4:30, hit that refresh button on your screen, and you'll be able to see the Stars in action against the Genesis Hockey Club, coming up at 4:30 right here on Midnight Sports. They did not put the goal on the board. There it is. All right, it is a 6-3 hockey game. Anyway, North Park still pressing here. Try and get right back in it. Snider, though, clearing the trouble. That puck's going to go all the way down for an icing. And so, with 2:19 left to play, it's a 6-3 hockey game, an offensive zone draw upcoming for North Park. And it'll be Halpern, Grebin, Farrow, Tenenbaum, and Finkelstein as the 5 skaters in green and blue. This is Tenenbaum to take the drop. That puck sits in the far corner, and Tenenbaum able to work it over toward Finkelstein. Finkelstein on the puck, tries to cycle it back. It comes up in the air, and it's just going to be grabbed out of the air by the Snider netminder. Not sure that's going to go down as a shot on goal, more like a shallow pop. Fielded by Jimmy Rollins or Trey Turner. Pick your Philly. We are outside Philadelphia. In any event, it's Tenenbaum at the near circle. And Snider will come through the neutral zone with the puck into the offensive end. Standing his man up once more is Farrow. He's done some heavy work there in the low slot to prevent any Snider shot. Take the body, they say. And Farrow has done exactly that. Under 120 seconds left to play in this game, as it'll be North Park to pick up in their own end. Halpern cycles over, looking for Tenenbaum, and Farrow joins for support. Puck sits behind the North Park net, and it's now North Park looking to break out on the near side of the ice. On up comes that puck just past Finkelstein. Snider able to settle it down in the neutral zone. Still some hitting out there between the players. 1:27 left to go as we play on. It's Keyworth picking that puck up, nearly skating past a man. Instead, it's Snider right back in the other direction. Grebin finds the puck, tries to work it on over toward Farrow. Puck just continues rolling in front of the Zamboni doors. No call on a trip. It was the Snider bench that wanted one. This game is laid on, and with a 3-goal lead, the officials probably calling the game according to the board as much as they are the rule book, and that shot right up into the top corner by Snider, and it will turn this into a 4-goal game. Again, the clock continued to run there as it has a few times, and so closer to 48 seconds. It's a 7-3 hockey game now. And this will be Meller at the dot. 4 skaters out here for North Park. Sweeney will join the party. Samosi to Meller's left. Sweeney to his right. Kluchek and Keyworth as the defenders. Puck's dropped. And the clock will tick on. It's Samosi now touching that puck across center ice. Samosi will gain the offensive end as Snider pours onto the puck. Samosi all over his man near side of the ice. Good back checking. Kept in by Keyworth. Sweeney fires that across. He was looking for Samosi back post. Puck just out of his reach. Samosi finds that puck, fires it across the slot, and Snider to pick on up and skate out. 22 seconds left to go as Snider comes in, and it was Keyworth trying to stop his man there. Snider, though, with the puck behind in the blue paint, and so they're just going to get a stoppage in play here as Keyworth had tried to take his man out of the play, but he's going to go perhaps for holding here with 19 seconds left to go in this game, 19.1 to be exact. And so a 7-3 hockey game. Keyworth to the box for the duration of it. And it'll be Meller at the dot. Now that puck won by Snider, and they'll fire in. That's deflected. It was a Meller shot block. That sent that puck wide. North Park's going to get this puck up and out of the zone. That should do it for this game as the buzzer goes in the rink. And so we've gone final here from Aston, PA. It's Snider 7, North Park 3. Thanks so much for tuning into this one. We'll catch you at 4:30 right here on Midnight Sports. Until then, stay safe.